Hey everybody, Rolling Royal here. We're gonna complete this Yale we came and looked at, ordered the parts for. We got our spark plug, we got our coils, we got our valve cover gasket, tube gaskets, and we got a O-ring for our cam seal up here. So I'm just gonna knock it all out at one time. I was gonna do like 3 different videos, but I thought, you know what, I gotta pretty much do it all at the same time anyway, so let's just make one video, get it done, everybody can see what's going on. Normally you do all this together anyway, so that's why I'm gonna kind of just make one video instead of making it into a couple. So anyway, here we go. I'm gonna get all my stuff ready and we'll get this thing knocked out. Alright, we're back. As I said, we're going to do the spark plugs, we're going to do the coils, we're going to do the valve cover gaskets, the grommets that go on the Hemi style spark plug tubes, and then we're going to do the O-ring on the cam seal back here. So as you can see, I got all my parts laid out and ready to go. We got our valve cover gasket here, we got our spark plug tube grommets here. I used some seal, oh my god, some lube, Seal Glide, I'm sorry, lubed them up a little bit so they'll slip over the tubes nicely. Got my spark plugs here. I got some copper anti-seize on the threads, and there's my O-ring for the cam plug, and then my new coils, ignition coils with our boots and legs on them. I don't know what the hell you want to call those. Anyway, so let's get going. So, we'll waste no more time. Make sure everything's good here. Alright. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is get some of this stuff out of my way so we can work properly here. So first of all, this air tube that goes over to our mixer, it's got a 13 mil head on the back here on this little strap. I want to get it taken off. You don't really have to take this off to do this job, but you know, it's not real hard to come off, and it kind of gets things out of your way and opens things up a little better. So I don't know, I just do it. I like to have my whole view of what I'm doing here. Doesn't take but a couple minutes to pop it off anyway. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is get this out of the way. Our propane line from our converter over to our EPR. Turn the propane off. Alright, so 10 millimeter head. Pop them off. Nut on the bottom side. Just kind of get it going and then grab it with my fingers. Alright. There. They're just spring clamps on here on the propane tubes, typically. I'm going to put a worm gear on there. So I'll let the ring gear clamp back like such. Pull it off this side. You guys have these clips here. Let me grab my hose up. I'm just making sure there's a plastic fitting that clips into this regulator here. So I was just making sure the clip was seated before I pulled that thing out. So now we're going to take our coils off, unplug them. 1, 2, actually 4, 3, 2, 1. I was just kind of numbering them. This is the front of the engine. I guess I would take back here. So the engine's in. Okay. So now take our 10 mil, 6 mils, 10 mil head out of our coils. That. Here's our bag coil, we had marked it. We've got our wiring harness going through these two. We pulled it out. The other ones. So now, we kind of did that. Putting coils in, yes, I want to do this. Okay, so pull our tubes out. As you know, these are pretty well junked from the oil that's been going down into them. I'll keep a couple of those coils that I know weren't bad, just for testing or an emergency. If I got a truck that's got a couple down misfire and they can't, they need to use it really bad. Then I can throw these in and kind of help them out and get them going while I'm ordering them some new ones. These tubes out. Phillips, let me grab one. would be considered a #1 Phillips, which is the smaller version. This guy out there. I had to pull the bracket. Just pull this. These gloves are hard to work with. Pressure on this guy. Long-winded screws. They don't help anything. Try to grab my screw gun, huh? Holy cow. I didn't think that thing was going to go anywhere. To do that, you gotta take that off anyway. So go ahead and pull these breather tubes off the top here and get them out of our way. We have to pull them off here and move them back. They're gonna come off here. Actually, you know what? That's ECV valve. I'm just gonna pop it out of the valve cover like so. Get them up out of the way. I can move them out when I take this breather here. Hose up, bud. See if I can get another one. See about Arizona. Everything dries up so much. It makes it almost impossible to get things. We got a screwdriver. See if I can pry that up. Everything is so dry. It's hard. Plastic tubes hard to deal with, man. Alright, got him. Peel him back. Get our wiring harness kind of got a 10 mil there. Holding this wiring harness on here, as well as the timing belt top cover. I knew there was a reason I pulled that crossover tube off. I couldn't think, but this there's a cover, a top cover on this valve cover, or on the timing belt, sorry. It needs to come off because the valve cover goes underneath it. So, this guy here, pop that loose, give myself a little bit of room to work here. Top of the timing belt's right here. So you can kind of get a quick peek of your timing belt, give it a quick check. So now, now we got a propane leak right here. See it smoking? Cold? I knew I smelled propane. So that fitting's probably not tight right there. Grab a 3/4 inch ratchet. I'm gonna grab my pliers right here and see real quick. Yeah, it's tight. You got a bad line, man. line's leaking at the bottom right here at the fitting. So, there's another job we're going to do. Have to get propane lining put on it. Fun. Let's stick to the valve cover. Alright, so we got this out of our way. Next thing I'm going to pull and get this wiring harness away from this metal piece here and pull it off. Grab our pick, pop these clips loose across the front here. Okay, got those off. Down here, underneath, have some little bolts holding this bracket on right here that was holding our wiring harness on. Get it out of our way. That way we have an open shot to what we're doing. We're not going to make a mistake. Trying to worm that valve cover in with a new gasket and get it rolled or something. So, get everything out of our way. Put this guy back. So now we're going to take our valve cover off. Grab my air gun and blow things off a little bit. And we got 10 millimeters, 6 of them around the top here. Alright, so start over here. Of them you got to get with your 1/4 inch. Got my 1/4 inch, 10 mil socket. Guy underneath this bracket, and taking that bracket off. Okay, all those are out. I'll take my screwdriver and pop it in this little corner right here. See if I can get it between the head and the valve cover and give it a little up. Not wanting to do that there. So, I guess the next best thing, grab my rubber mallet. Go. Give it a couple Couple nice pops. And bang. Just gotta rattle it loose. After all the time on there, I don't like it. So anyway, we'll show you now the valve cover gasket here. Get this back. Put it under here so it'll stay back. So here's the timing belt, cam pulley, as you can see. There's that rear cam plug. It goes right in through there where the cam sits. Here's our rockers, roller rockers, and our valves with the springs. As you can see, we have 4 valves per cylinder. Intake, exhaust. So we'll get these tubes sealed up. Get this old valve cover gasket. Let me throw a green mat over that. Keep anything out of there that might want to get in there. Dirt wise. Okay, put this here so you can see what I'm doing. So this is the old gasket that we are replacing. It's kind of in there. See how dry it is and brittle? It's just falling apart. Start. Get one piece broken off or separated, that way you can grab it and start working your way around. Sometimes they can be really not fun to get out of here once they're dried up. Alright, I got underneath it that time. So dry. Let me get my hook. Now that it's started, put my hook under there. Give it a few lug taps. If I can get it to start. Out, then dang it, how dry that is. Then I'm gonna have to get my pliers. I have some spots here that I had to pry on that are not gonna, I'm gonna want to get back down in. Alright, so anyway, instead of this taking me all day doing it like this, I'm going to stop filming, take it over to the van, get it all out, and the new valve cover in, and then I'll come back. I just wanted to show you what that valve cover is like sometimes. And here's our tube seals right in here. They're going to have to come out as well. They're awfully dry as well. There we go. Get one to come out so I can show you. Goes on there. So basically I'll get all that cleaned off. Put the seal. I'll probably have some kind of adhesive, but we'll come back to that. Let me get this all cleaned up, get all these seals off and new ones going, and then we'll come back. Alright, hey, it's Rolling Royal. I'm back. Got the valve cover, new valve cover gasket in. Kind of beat it in, had to get the sides. It almost took me probably 45 minutes to get that old one out. It was so dry, and get the new one in and the valve cover reshaped so I can put it on. The spark plug grommets, as you can see, they're on the tubes, and I have put some 518 gasket sealer, just a little smidge around the top of each of them to help seal on the underside of that valve cover gasket. Also, I cleaned off my mating surface all the way around on the valve, on the head, so that we can have a good mating surface. So let me get this up here and we'll get rocking and rolling. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is put this thing back on. Grab the top, lay it right back down on here, get it kind of lined up the best you can with the holes, and we'll sit it down on there. Okay, we don't get too crazy with it. We'll put our bolts in there. Gotta take my glove off for that. These gloves are a little thick for me. Let me take this off. Get my hands dirty, I guess. I got most of it cleaned up. So yeah, about 45 minutes to get that old valve cover gasket out and get that kind of cleaned and reshaped. I ended up taking my pick and my hammer, my round pick, this guy here, and my hammer, and I'll put this kind of in the groove and bam, hammer that seal out. It wasn't friendly, I promise. Pain in the butt. Alright, so we're gonna get our screws in here. Remember, we had this guy up here in our way. So got the screws in. You're gonna want to get all these screws started before you tighten them down. That way, our bolts, I just keep saying screws, get these bolts tightened down, or started before we tighten them down. That way, we get all of them in place. We tighten them down, we might have some that aren't lined up, and then we're not going to be able to get them in if we can't move the valve cover around a little bit like this. So, anyway, when I get my guy here, I just kind of do it by hand, my short socket, so I can put a little pressure on them. Push down a little because that valve covers, that new gasket's kind of thick, so press down, see, it's not lined up, so take it out, look at it, it's going to be right about there. Like I said, make sure you get them started before you go down and tighten this thing down. That way you're not having to take them back loose and redo it again. Pressure, perfect. You come around to that side. Threaded in there correctly. We're not going to cross thread it. Yeah, feel it going down in there. Be alright. Got it here. I don't think that'll fit through there. Oh, heck of an idea. Gotta try. Got an angle here. This one's a little more touchy. Cross thread them, so I don't think that's going to work. Have to go too much of an angle, so I'm going to just use my fingers and slowly run them down just a little. I know I'm in the hole. Press that new gasket down some so I can get in there. Off to go. Now I got my ratchet, give it a couple nice easy turns. I felt the threads go with my fingers. So there we go. And last but not least, we got this fun guy right in here. that bracket off, but that's okay. I get it started with my fingers as well. Now that I got all the other ones in, that one's pretty well good. Get this guy on here and take him down. So now I'm going to start at my middle ones, kind of like a head gasket. Snug them down by hand. Go up to the front. Put him in. Snug. You notice my hand, I'm not grabbing the handle, I'm kind of keeping around the top. That's so I don't put too much torque on these things right off the bat. I can tend to put a little much torque. I mean, you only need like 13 pounds a square inch, you know, nothing crazy. Hands. Notice I don't use any air or electricity to take these things back in and torque them. That way I don't break the bolts off in there or anything. Alright, I'm happy with that. Nice and tight. All of our new grommets. Got some lube seal on them. So we'll start putting this sucker back together. Real quick, while we got it in this spot, I'm going to pull my, as you remember, we're doing, oops, wrong one. We're doing spark plugs, so I want to pull my plugs out right now. Not thinking, grabbed the wrong socket. So anyway, in my Hemi style socket here, go down in there and grab them. I normally do spark plugs by hand too, just so I'm not getting myself in trouble with air or electricity and get too much torque and break the spark plug or something crazy like that. Nope, got the spark plugs out. Get a little oil on that one. And that gasket leaking, it already got down to the plug. We'll grab our new plugs one by one. Remember, we got some copper NICs on there. Get the spark plug socket wiped off from that oil I had on there. Drop them in. Take them in by hand, very nice down the middle so I'm not hitting that electrode. Start them in by hand. Take them down until they're snug. And then I'll finish it off with the ratchet. Drop them in. Take them down nice and easy. Get them started. You don't want to cram that electrode or drop it and hit that electrode down there because it'll smash that electrode down, the pin down to the electrode, and then your spark plug's not going to work at all. So once you check the gap, you got your gaps good, then you don't want to be touching those anymore. Last one. Okay, grab my ratchet. Light on the torque as well on these. You don't need anything crazy, you just feel that crush sleeve down there, crush washer go with your hands, and then my tools are so old they're getting worn out. I gotta get new rings and stuff. And then get the socket out. Hello. Keep in mind my tools are only 20 to 30 years old. The old Mac spin flex. I love it. I don't know if they make it anymore. Okay, spark plugs are in. Now we're going to put our coils on. Doesn't matter what order you put them in. They don't have a little dielectric grease in the tip of them to help on that spark plug down there. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm talking and I'm not paying attention here. Actually, I gotta put my wiring harness holder on here. Actually, you know what? I'll put it on there. So let's go ahead and drop these in now that I've screwed around that much. That's not going to be possible. And you're not paying attention. Sorry, people. So, I'm going to put this guy on here first. Okay. Done. Okay. Got a harness clip back in here. Put that back on. Alright. Get our coils dropped in. You gotta kind of maneuver it a little bit, but that's okay. There's our coils. Go ahead and get the screws back in. Take these down, just take them down nice and easy with your gun. Okay. Just got it back in here. Not too bright in like sometimes. That's what happens when you work on these too long, you get brain rot. No big deal. We'll make it work. Alright. Make it work. Maybe we won't. I'm gonna have to pull that back off. Got a little ahead of myself. Okay. Get the wiring harness in. Press these back up into those like they want to be. Back in. Okay. Now I can come back over with this. Okay. Get our screws back in here. Okay. Alright, so now put our cover back on there. Now that I've made it nice and tight, put the harness again. go. Get our rear lines on here. This guy and this guy. This hose being so dry, it cracked. I'm gonna cut that piece off. This hose is long enough, I think, to stretch them. And I'm gonna see. We're already going to get a propane line. Might as well. Boy, that hose is as hard as can be. Hard as can be. Everything on this truck is hard and old. Nah, that ain't gonna work. I'm gonna have to get another hose and another liquid propane hose. So, real quick, we're gonna change this gasket out. Get done with this video. So, what we got is, you gotta take these two out. Most of the time, they're way too tight to take out by hand. So I use my impact driver, and normally you can rock them out with an impact driver. I already loosened them for the sake of the video, so I'm going to go ahead and pull them out. I've had to score them before with my cutoff wheel and use a half-inch or a flathead with you know, with your wrench spot there and get them out. So, all right, let me grab a screwdriver. Give that a little pry out there. It comes right off fairly quick, no problems. And here you go. It's our O-ring and our plug. Clean it off real quick. That O-ring is so hard, it is not pliable at all anymore. Look at that. Just breaking off in pieces. That's an O-ring. So, grab a rag and get this all cleaned up. Perfect. Just get a quick clean on it. Grab our new O-ring. Place it. And we already have oil in there, so I'll wipe them off. That sealing surface good. Okay. Then I'm going to take a little bit of seal glide. Seal glide here. I use this on my O-rings and things. That way you're not forcing them on, you know. Gotta lube them. Lube is everything. So, got that guy there. Flip it over. Push it in. Line it up. Screws. Put them in. and tight. I mean, I don't do them any tighter than that. They don't have to be. You saw that plug, that O-ring goes in there a ways. These aren't going anywhere. So there you go. I'm gonna get a new hose from our converter over to our pressure regulator. That's what sends the propane from the converter to the regulator. And then I'm going to put our back hose back on when I do that. And I've got to replace this LPG line over here we saw it's leaking. So but for now, we did the valve cover gasket, the grommets, spark plugs, coils, and the front O-ring on a PSI 2.4 in a Heister GLP 60 VX. So there you go. I hope you all enjoyed. Once again, it's Rollin' Royal. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you like it, subscribe once again. I'll keep making these videos. No, I'm not the world's greatest mechanic or the world's greatest forklift mechanic or even anything close. I just do my best. I've been doing this for a while, so luckily I've acquired some knowledge over the years, because you know, you don't have it all at once. It's just impossible. So anyway, I hope I'm helping some people with forklift mechanics. As you know as well as I do, if these things don't keep running, our shipping in our country does not keep running. They depend on us. They depend on us to keep these trucks loaded, to move this heavy stuff in our steel yards and all of our factories around. So keep plugging. God bless. And we'll see you next one. It's Rollin' Royal. We're out.